lunch break as we are getting started now for the final of round 3 rotax MAX Challenge Asia and round 2 Thailand Championship. We are back racing at Birakat Circuit, and the ones we watched before were the lead up to the big and main event, which is the final. And here we go, we are getting started right away with the Micromax and Micro Rookies. And we will start at 12:46 local time, which is right about now. And your pole sitter for the Micromax will be Nutsarang Rangrustanako, followed by Chinapat Vechibuti on the second row of the grid. So Nutsarang Rangrustanako was able to secure first place in the superheat, finding her way all the way on the right side on the front row. Then on the second row, Jin Karato, followed by Karan Delsi. And in the third row, we will have Sirachash Ongbangnoy, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong. And then we have Jiraj Sutivatanaroj, followed by Sirat Sapat. Then in the fifth row, we'll have Ishan Swarup lining up next to Aruthan Prabhu. In the sixth row, we will have Pawin Warakit Sipachok, followed by Siravit Siriton Ranako, followed by Thantach Yuva Sakunkrai, closing your 13-card grid for this event. And we will see Chinapat Vejibuti's charge into the top step of the podium, but we can't always count out Nutsarang Rangrustanako and Shun Karato, as well as Kalantel. And downstairs, the man talking to the drivers, the front row of the grid will be the race director, who has also worked in Rotax MAX Challenge at Europe. So just having a chat with Nutsarang on the left side of your screen and Chinapat Vechibuti on the right side. Just a few more minutes now before your fighters climb into the machines and get ready to race in the final. Here we go. On pole position, Nutsarang Rangrustanako, proudly representing the only female driver on this grid. And next up on the left side is Chinapat Vechibuti, right next to his coach in cart number 78. Then in third position will be Jun Karato in the number 39. And on the outside row will be Kalan Delsi in fourth position. And Kalan Delsi earlier had a bit of a moment with Chinapat Vechibuti in Superheat. And because of that, both front row drivers are a little bit further back on the starting grid here. On 6th position, oh, we missed 5th position, which was Siddharth Ong Bang Noi, and then moving on to Kwong Mason Alexander, the Hong Kong driver representing DRM. And then car number 44 in 7th position, Jirach Sittivatanarod, also running with DT Motorsports. And then car number 56, Siratapat, in 8th position, followed by 9th position, Ishan Swaroop from India. In the number 6 cart from Kart Crew Motorsports. Then on the left side will be the number 5 of, I believe that is Aruthan Prabhu, also from Kart Crew Motorsports. Next up, the car number 11 on position 11, Pawin Warakit Supachok from Wara Race Karting. And then the number 89 of Siravit Siri Ranakul from Ya Racing Service. Then closing out your 13th grid will be Thantach Yuva Sakunkrai, the Thai driver from DT Motorsports as well. So that is your 13 kart lineup for the last time they will go racing this weekend in rotax MAX Challenge Asia and Thailand. 1 minute left, goes up. And sharing this race, we will have a post-race interview with the top 3 drivers. We are also live on Moto 29, Moto Max, and Sports One, who kindly allowed us to host for this brilliant of an event. So Chinapat Djibouti, of course, we have seen what he can do once he has gotten some clean air. It's going to be the rest of the field's job to keep him behind before the young superstar can run away into the sunset. But here we go, 13 karts, and they are given 11 laps of racing on your front row. Let's around Rong Rosanako, followed by Chinapat Djibouti. On the second row, Jun Karato, followed by Kalan Delsi. On row number 3, Sirachach Ongbang Noi, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong. On the fourth row, Chirachach Sittivatanarod, followed by Saritapat. On the 5th row, Ishan Swarup, followed by Aruthan Prabhu. And the 6th row, we have Pawin Warakit Supachok, followed by Siravit Siri Ranakul. Then on the 13th position is Thantach Yuva Sakunkrai. So here we go. We've also seen Mason Alexander Kwong as he starts to signal the front row to go even faster. That's a very Mason thing to do. We are slowly getting the race started here. Oh, extremely fast. Coming into the final. And I believe that is Nutsarang's first time on pole position. And just a little bit too excited on the start there, as we are going to go around one more time. for Babe in first position as well. The officials on the commentary box are shocked to see what has happened so far. But first time for our pole sitter on the first ever row on the inside line. And she needs to be just a little bit slower on the accelerator as we roll into the tram lines one more time. Let's see if she can get it right this time around. For Nutsarang Rung Rastanako. Here we go, one more time. The 6th row of carts roll into the tram lines, and here we go, start for the Micro Max and Micro Rookie race, and Nutsarang gets a lovely start coming into the first corner. Little bit of side-by-side action between Jun Karato and Chinapat Vechabuti. Chinapat swings wide, gonna go for the switcheroo. Nutsarang moves over to defend. There is a switchback from Chinapat Vechabuti coming to the 4th corner. Nutsarang gonna try to go around the outside into the S's. And Chinapat Vechabuti gonna claim first position from Nutsarang Rung Rostanako. And a fair effort from Chinapat Vechabuti to move up into the top step of the podium one more time, but Nutsarang right there behind Chinapat Vechabuti. She will be giving it everything she's got to chase down the leader. But we do know once Chinapat Vechabuti gets some clean air, it's all a game of running away from the rest of the field. And I'm afraid that has already started, ladies and gentlemen, as Chinapat Vechabuti already holds half a second of a gap from Nutsarang Rung Rastanako. Behind is the fight between Sinachach Ongbangnoy, who defends from cart number 44, Jirach. Going side by side, Mason Alexander Kwok trying everything he can into turn number 4. Philadelphia still in the defense. Mason has a slot back. And right ahead, still side by side coming into 100R. Mason's going to have to slot back again into 7th position, but up in front, Nutsarang is being hunted down by Jun Karato in the car number 39. Nutsarang giving it everything she's got to hang on to the podium position. Kelsey's still chasing down Jirach. This gives Sinachach a little bit of breathing room. Jirach going to go defensive into the first corner. Now Nutsarang is being fully hunted down, and she will not go defensive. Jun Karato swings down the inside, and lovely fair racing there from Jun Karato, and a lovely move. Nutsarang is with Jun Karato the whole way into turn number 4. Moving his way forward on the car number 44 of Jirach. Jirach gets it. And Mason Alexander Kwong goes down the inside into turn number 10. Mason overtakes 2 carts in that move, and a lovely stuff done there from Mason Alexander Kwong to move in to 5th position from 7th on the grid. That's it, Judge O'Manoy going side by side with Jun Karato, and I believe Nutsarang has gotten back 2nd place from Jun Karato. Not sure how that has happened, but everybody now is back. Sinachach goes down the inside of Jun Karato, and somebody's off. That's Jirach. Jirach spins around into turn number 4 as Sinachach again into 4th position, make it 3rd. Now Kwon Mason is on the rear bumper of Sinachach. Mason pointing to work forward. Sinachach's going to go defensive. Mason trying to look on the outside. Jun Kurato's going to get the inside. Not the best run from him. Kelsey down the inside once again, and Jun Kurato finds himself from 3rd position on the grid all the way down into 6th. So Jun Kurato's gonna have to put in more work. Mason Alexander got a beautiful move coming to turn number 2. He's gonna slot into 3rd position. Mason pointing to work forward. Sinachach's gonna go defensive, and Mason gets a lot of breathing room. He's gonna try to run away from the pack now. Hungry Kurt's behind him. Sinachach, sorry, still on the defense from Galantelsi and Jun Kurato. And Mason Alexander Kwong's given some breathing room, and he's gonna go and try to catch Nutsarang. He has his eyes set on his next target, but right behind, Sinachach still defending Galantelsi, not being able to do anything quite yet, and he's being backed up into Jun Kurato. Timing with Sinachach. Where can Galantelsi find a move to try and optimize on a mistake? And Jun Kurato go down the inside of Galantelsi. They're going to go side by side. Very fair racing going on right here. Beautiful sportsmanship from these drivers, and now it's a train of cars who follow Sinachach on Banoi. Sinachach's going to get a little bit more breathing room, trying to move Galantelsi, the guy in car number 35. Here we go one more time, going side by side with car number 6. Ishan being pressured and hunted down by Sinatapat. Sinachach struggling with race pace, having to defend. Galantelsi is going to try to go for the switcheroo, and it's going to work. Still side by side coming to the last corner, and Galantelsi squeezes and squeezes, and Sinachach loses the position to Galantelsi. Sinachach's going to have to pull out on that one. And Sinachach goes defensive one more time with Jun Kurato. Sinachach's still not looking to chase down, and again he loses the position to Jun Kurato. Jun Kurato checking left, checking right, and everyone is being backed up behind. With Wanakin Silver Job now. The two GFC cars having a battle of their own in the middle pack. But Sinachach tried everything to keep the drivers behind him. Now he's going to be struggling with pace with those overheated tires. Sinachach looks behind. Pawin, Wanakin Superjob still there. Pawin's going to swing wide, trying to go for the switcheroo coming out of the last corner. He gets the better run. Is it going to be a drag race down the front straight away? He's closing and closing, and Pawin's going to push Sinachach Obangnoi into the first corner. And not much Pawin can do just yet. Pawin not going to look down the inside. And the car number 99 of Latach just looking to seek opportunities. Sinachach is still going defensive. Pawin's lining wide into turn number 4. And Latach are going to have a look down the inside. It's better than slots back behind Pawin. And the line of cars following Aruthan, Saritapat, and Ishan will start to come back around to hunt Pawin down. Sinachach Obangnoi still not being able to find any race pace from his car. Yet 3 laps to go now as the Chinook Ventureability runs off into the sunset. Nutsarang still in 2nd position from Kwon Mason Alexander. so far, Chinapat Benjabuti, our race leader, is 6/10 faster than the rest of the field. So he is an absolute rocket out there with 2 laps to go. Chinapat Benjabuti definitely, with nothing wrong, gonna win this race for Michael Max and Micro Rookie. And he's got the extreme pace to run away with the race win in the Micro final. And his driving is so smooth, so consistent. He's had week out, always practicing every single weekend at MAX circuit, trying to find those milliseconds wherever they can to fight Chinapat Benjabuti. But it just seems like Chinapat's gonna win out this one with 2 laps remaining. Still a judge on the defense from Pawin Warakin Superchok advantage Yubasa Kunkrai. And still a judge Ong Bang Noi again goes defensive, but out in front Mason Alexander Kwok takes a look behind. Galan Delphi's right there behind him now. Galan Delphi will get 10 quarters to try and snatch that podium away from Kwok Mason. Mason goes defensive. Galan goes for the outside move, gonna go for the switcheroo, coming to turn number 4, not quite yet. It's gonna have to collect the speed. Turn 4, Mason moves over to defend. Mason doing an incredible job to keep the hungry Galan Delphi behind. And who will take the podium position in the Micro Max and Micro Rookie qualifier, the Micro Rookie final. And 2 quarters left as we head into the final quarter with Chinapat Benjabuti. Galan Delphi is not going to make that in time, but Chinapat Benjabuti is definitely going to win the Micro Max and Micro Rookie final. And in second place comes Nutsarang Rangrustanako, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong, Galan Delphi, and Jun Karato in 5th position. Pawin moves his way into 6th. Sirajach Ong Bang Noi loses to 2 of the carts and falls into 8th position. But an incredible drive from Chinapat Benjabuti to go into the win. And beautiful sportsmanship from Chinapat Benjabuti and Mason Alexander Kwong. As we head into the highlights with Chinapat winning the race in Micro Max and Micro Rookie final. top 5 will be Chirapat Vechibuti, who comfortably takes a 7-second lead win from Nutsarang Rang Rushanako, followed by Mason Alexander Kwong in 3rd position. Callan Kelsey finishes in 4th, and Jun Karato makes his way into 5th. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the results for the Micro Max and Micro Rookie, and Chirapat Vechibuti takes victory lane in the micro category. So now I'm heading downstairs for the post-race interview with the micro drivers. So we are here now for the post-race interview with 2nd place for the Micro Max and Micro Rookie race. She's the only female driver in this category, and we'll have a bit of a word with her. So, how did you feel during the race? Of course, it's your first time on pole position, right?
I was feeling so excited, and then I was like, my car wasn't feeling very ready enough, so I tried my best to be on the podium. And then the last part, I was trying to cry because I was so excited when in the finish line, and then
I saw you once overtaken 2nd place, and how did you exactly get back in order to make 2nd place on the podium?
So I tried, and then I tried as hard as I can second place.
So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Babe, the young superstar in Micro Max and Micro Rookie, and the only female driver in this category. Congratulations so much, and I'll see you at the podium. And I'll see you upstairs for the commentary box. So that was the short post-race interview with second place for the Micro Max and Micro Rookie final, Nutsarang Rung Rastunako. And then next up we will have the Mini Max and Mini Rookie final race. So here we go for the final for the Mini Max and Mini Rookie. And on your pole position, it will be Tanarat Vechibuti, followed by Pirapong Pansatamno. In third position, Patapo Galganjanaset, followed by Papasaton Silaban Barling. And in fifth position, Traikwan Minakinith, followed by Putipong Wang Napachat. In seventh position, Platanchapong, followed by Prin Vonkapon. So here we go. After this warm-up lap will be the formation lap for the start of the Mini Max and Mini Rookie final. And again, the same situation for both Vechibuti brothers. If Taran Vechibuti is able to run away with some clean air for this one, they will be definitely having to chase Charavat Vechibuti down. So both Pirapong Pansatamano and Patapol in second and third position having to really hammer down on Charavat Vechibuti in the first few laps and keep him behind. But can they really fight with Charavat Vechibuti's fast race pace? We will have to see. Well, technically Charavat Vechibuti running similar times to Pirapong Pansatamano and Patapol Galganjanaset. However, it is definitely Tarat Vechibuti who always is one step ahead in the race pace. So here we go. Tarat Vechibuti on the right side. Pirapong Pansatamano on the left, Patapol Galganjanaset on third row of the grid. Drivers on the inside, Taran Vechibuti and Patapol Galganjanaset fighting for both the Asian and Thailand Championship. Let's see how this goes down, and it is going to be a one more time for the Mini Max and Mini Rookie final start. Tarat Vechibuti just a little bit too fast there, coming into the tram lines. Mostly the top three, Taran Vechibuti, Pirapong Pansatamano, Patapol Galganjanaset, who is going to take the win and all of its glory in Rotax Max Challenge, Asia and Thailand. We are about to find out with 11 laps of action. So here we go. Taran Vechibuti on the right side of the grid. Pirapong Pansatamano on the left. 8 red lights on. Beautifully rolled in, and lights are off, and we're racing. And Taran Vechibuti, a very clean start from him. And great execution off the line right away. Patapol Galganjanaset already into second position. position, having to defend, and Taran Vechabuti is going to get a lot of breathing room. And down the inside, I believe that is Papasaton on Jacob Manikanen, but he's going to have to slot back and down the inside goes Patibam Wamnapachant into fourth position. He's going to get switched back, however, and Papasaton slits back into fifth position. And Taran Vechabuti still having that hole shot and already a little bit of breathing room. Again, these tires are very, very new. They get a new set of tires for the finals, so let's see how this will go down. Taran Vechabuti in first, Patapo Galga Janasa in second, Pirapopan Satamino in third. Checks behind, points to work forward with Papasaton, Silapat Balang. But in front of Taran Vechabuti already is getting a little bit of breathing room. 3/10 is the gap from Taran Vechabuti and Pathapo. But Pathapo doesn't seem to be holding off Pirapom much. He has his eyes set on the win. Set. Still on the chase from Taran Vechabuti. Let's have a gap check this time around. It was 0.314 last time. This one it will be 0.227. Patpo Galganjana set. Moving closer into Taran Vechabuti. And if Pirapong Sutamno plays his cards right, it will be a 3-player battle for the race win in the Mini Max and Mini Rookie final. Still behind the Chayagon Minakanin. Still moving ahead with Papasaton. Chayagon points to work with Papasaton to move forward. Taran Vechabuti not being able to run away like in previous heats. And he is being stuck and close right down. He has to put his head down. Never seen Taran Vechabuti being pulled in this close from Patapo Galga Janase. Patapo getting everything right so far to reel Taran Vechabuti in. Last time it was 0.227. This time it will be 0.208. So 1900ths of a second. Patapo has reeled in Taran Vechabuti. And behind Chayako and Minakanin, still working with Papasaton. The question is, however, is Pirapompan going to spoil Patapo's speed by making something happen so early in the race? Vechabuti going to have to run his best race and run away from Patapo Galga Janase, because we know once it starts to be a race, Patapo and Pirapompan really makes it one. Every driver kneeling down into the steering wheel, getting that human drag reduction system. Oh, and right there on the bumper now is Patapo Galga Janase, and Taran knows it. Taran Vechabuti has to go on the defense from Patapo. Patapo goes a little bit sideways. He's going to lose a little bit of speed, and Pirapompan's going to go down the inside. Is this going to give Taran Vechabuti a little bit of breathing room? Is it all that he needs? Pirapompan knows he's made the move down, but he trusts that he can catch up to Taran Vechabuti. And Patapo Galga Janase needs to be patient now. He needs that championship, and he also needs to be patient and needs to trust Pirapompan. Taran Vechabuti getting a little bit of a clean air for a little bit. But then now he's being chased down once again by a different driver. It's now Pirapompan Satamno, apologies. But the gap seems to be increasing once again, and Patapo is not going to be liking this. Patapo Galga Janase really needs to put the hammer down on Pirapompan, doing anything he can to make sure those two do not leave Tarat Benjibuti's rear bumper. Behind, Papasaton has passed Chaiko Amina Kinen. Papasatamino still on the chase, however the gap is slowly starting to increase. Patspo, Galp and Janasset space is also slowly starting to fall off. Maybe Tarat Benjibuti is going to have an easy race after all. But Pirapompan Satamno still trying to make something happen. Patspo, Galp and Janasset slowly falling off the train. And now the gap is evenly spaced out between all of the top three cards. Satamno still snooping around Tarat Benjibuti's rear bumper. Just seems like Tarat Benjibuti is losing a little bit of ground. Let's check the gap this time around. It is 0.279. Tarat Benjibuti is indeed losing ground on Pirapong Pansatamno. It's halfway through the race already, however. And Pirapong Pansatamno is not going to get that many more laps left to reel in the race leader. Still needs to be closer to make something happen between those two. You can definitely see Papasatamno creeping in closer and closer and closer to the rear bumper of Tarat Benjibuti. And between the top four, everyone's running the same identical lap times, 101.4s. Similar lap times between all four drivers as Papasaton starts to run away from Chaiko Amina Kinen and moves into the back bumper of Patapol. The gap this time has increased, however, from 0.279, it's now 0.379. It's definitely not Tarat Benjibuti who is going any faster, but it's Pirapong Pansatamino who has made a mistake in the last lap, and he's gone 1/10 slower. Pirapong Pansatamino currently holds the fastest lap of the race, however. Still not enough to catch up to the Wizardry Tarat Benjibuti can pull. Tarat Benjibuti still on some clean air, and he's still able to run away from Pirapong Pansatamino. And Pirapong needs to put those laps down to reel in Tarat Benjibuti for sure now, or else it's going to be an easy one for Tarat Benjibuti once again in the Minimax and Mini Rookie final. That's right. The team members are telling him to look forward for the Benjibuti, but the gap is slowly going down once again. Pirapong Pansatamino pulls the fastest lap of the race once again, a 1:13.136. Around half a tenth faster than Tarat Benjibuti, but the Galgajanes is slowly falling off the train of cards. Now it's again a battle of catch and run. Tarat Benjibuti still able to keep up with the rest of the drivers. Pirapong Pansatamino is faster, but he needs to be a little bit even faster to be able to catch up to Tarat Benjibuti. 3/10 separate the two last lap around as they come into the final corner. Let's do a gap check. Pirapong Pansatamino needs to reel in at least 1/10 per lap to make something happen. And so far, Tarat Benjibuti again a little bit faster than Pirapong Pansatamino. And Tarat Benjibuti is going to start to run away into the clouds. Pirapong Pansatamino needs to be a little bit quicker to reel in. But is still not quite close enough to make anything happen as well. Tarat Benjibuti just a little bit more consistent, just a little bit faster. And half a tenth is all you need in this race. They are running so close to each other between the top three. Tarat Benjibuti, so consistent, so precise. course, ran across different testing sessions. Tarat Vechibuti is an absolute robot. And again, Tarat Vechibuti goes faster than Pirpong Pansatamno and Patapokal Ganjanase. And Tarat Vechibuti is getting the final lap. To be honest, Tarat Vechibuti is probably going to take the win here again for Mini-Max and Mini-Rookie Final. He is going to increase his lead on Patapokal Ganjanase. Takes the win for Mini-Max and Mini-Rookie Final for Rotax Max Challenge, Asia and Thailand. And here we go, final corner for the other young Vechibuti superstar. And he's gonna take the win for Mini-Max and Mini-Rookie Final, followed by Pirapong Pansatamno and Patapokal Ganjanase. Then we have Papa Saton and Chayakon Mina Kenneth closing out your top 5 for the Mini-Max and Mini-Rookie Final. And a very, very smart race ran there from Tarat Vechibuti and Patapokal Ganjanase was once in second place and was so close to reeling in Tarat Vechibuti before had a little bit of a squabble, then gave time for Tarat Vechibuti to run into the sunset. So now we will go into the highlights of the Mini-Max and Mini-Rookie Final. Tarat Vechibuti, followed by Pirapong Pansatamano, and then in third place, Patapokal Ganjanase, followed by Papasaton, and then Chayakon Mina Kanith. I would like to call the top 3 drivers of the mini race to please go downstairs to the podium area for the post-race interview. Thank you very much. So we are downstairs here now for the grid start of the Junior Max and Junior Rookie final. And we're here with the pole sitter, Pano Stian Mankong. I've seen you've been making moves up in Europe. How have you taken that experience and putting it into the Asian karting scene?
Yeah, I practiced from there and used it here by just trying to copy everything, but it's not the same since our track is not so good compared to other countries.
How do you think you were able to bring the fight with Campbell this weekend for the final?
Yeah, it's a fair fight. I hope there's no pushing and shoving and everything. We just keep it like the rules.
So that was a word from our oppositor. Good luck very much, Pano Stian Mankong, and the best of luck for the races. Next up, we will be interviewing the second man on the grid, Hamish Campbell. Is this your first time here on track?
No, I was doing back in January for International Trophy, yeah.
So how will you bring the fight with our local driver, Pano Stian Mankong, on pole position?
Yeah, he's very fast. We're pretty similar in pace. Obviously, we're going to have a very good race. Very exciting 17 laps, and just got to drive the best we can, and best man will win.
Okay, best of luck for you, and good luck with your race while we go to interview the third place on the grid start, Mika Slabert. Now, I've seen your race pace in the superheat, and you're able to run with the top two guys. How are you making sure you're able to catch up with them in terms of racecraft and track position?
I think I just have to get a good start, stay on his bumper, and just hope for the best.
And how have you been finding this track compared to yesterday? Of course, we have cooler conditions, but today it's much harder. Have you changed your driving style or any vehicle setup changes?
Yeah, we changed the setup a bit, but the driving style.
I see. Okay, best of luck for Mika as we head into final. I'll go up to the commentary box and I'll see you guys there. Thank you very much. And that was Jamie Obros on camera, and before that was Akrapon Paul Becker in 4th and 5th position. And then this is the number 256 of Kian Shah from India, running the carbon Chouette helmet. And then on the inside row is Pumsik Klomachong from Thailand. 5 minutes on the board. And next up we have the number 275 in 8th position of Pan Saksarm Songchai. Followed by the number 269 of Nawin Dase. Then the number 212 of Mikhail Rangziman Pirainen in 10th position. Next up is the number 235 of Nadal Injipanya, who had a little bit of challenges coming into this weekend, but he'll be doing his best to make some moves to move forward in the final. Next up is the number 277 of Daying Abdul Rahman bin Daying Malek, holding the Thai license. Then the number 233 of Chisanapong Po Charam Thap in cart number 233. then we have number 259 of Kittilantapat, Never Give Up. Then the number 234 of Kanpong Chot Ratanakan in 15th position, followed by 16th on the grid, Tanatas Lomwong in the number 289. Then followed by card number 258 is Tas Muang Siri. Then in 18th position is the card number 239, Situate Tansi Ventricle. And that is followed up with card number 266 of Wachirawit Chai Prasit. And then card number 236 is Kantapat Rin Saksanti, followed by card number 265 of Xavier Fabrizio Santoso. We go 15 seconds before the race starts, and this is the 21 cart fleet. As the start engine goes up, green flag is out, and we are out for the warm-up lap. And between the top three, Panos Tianmanko, Hamish Gamble and Mikas Lambert, it will be an interesting fight, to say the least. All top three drivers are extremely close in race pace. We can't always count out Paul Becker, the man who moved so far up the grid, followed by Jamie Ambrose. Jamie's Ambrose race in Superheat was not the best, I would say, but he will be trying his best to make up some positions in the final. So interesting set of drivers for the 21 cart lineup. And just after the warm-up lap now, it will be the formation lap. So here we are very close to getting the race started now. The start of the race will be happening very, very, very soon, and I am personally very excited for this one. Panu Stianmanko on the inside of the row, Hamish Gamble on the left, Mikas Lambert then on third position, followed by Paul Becker and Jamie Ambrose closing out your top five. Panu Stianmanko from Thailand, Hamish Gamble from Australia, Mikas Lambert Francois from Malaysia, Paul Becker from France, and Jamie Ambrose from the United Kingdom. Here we go, boys, for the race start of the Junior Max and Junior Final. And here we go. Hamish Gamble gets the better start on Panos Tianmanko. But up in front, oh, there's more contact happening between car number 265 and one of the other guns, but up in front. That was a very close moment between Hamish Campbell and Stan Mankong on the first lap on the first corner. Hamish Campbell had a really great start there, but just a little bit of a contact. Stan Mankong, however, still keeps the lead of the race, followed by, now we'll go into the replay to see what exactly happened on the first lap. So here was the contact into turn number 2, just some wheel banging and someone got clipped sideways. And then we will also see the replay of what happened in the front pack in a little bit, but up in front, Stan Mankong leading the race from now because Lava finds his way all the way into second place. Hamish Campbell still in blood. Holding a solid ground for the Junior Max and Junior Rookie final. In 4th position is Paul Becker. In 5th position, is Paul Becker, followed by Jamie Omros. And here's what happened on the start in the front row. After lights went out, Hamish Campbell went in front and little bit of contact and wheel banging, and Stan Mankong chooses to go the rally way through the corner before the drivers are safely out of the car now. We're up in front, Stan Mankong going slightly defensive now on Mikas Labat. But as you can see from the gap, point 2 is around 4 car lengths. These cars are running so close to each other. There has to be a lot of sportsmanship and respect given to each driver. Not having contact and ruining their own racing. Oh, very close goes Jamie Ambrose into one of the tire barriers. Jamie still leading from continues to push forward in this race. Stan Mankong still being followed very close behind as they jump the left curb. Mika Slavat, the Malaysian driver. Just pulling a little bit further, second place. It seems like he has a bit of axle because that car is shaking quite a bit. We'll have to catch it on camera. Hamish Campbell, as there was contact coming into the forward, quite yet on Kian. That's number 2, 33 inches out of ball. Being chased down by Pansuk Sunshine. Now in front, Nano Imchipanya just goes sideways, and now Pumsik Lamajong is right on the rear bumper of Nano Imchipanya. Pumsik Lamajong not close enough to make anything happen just yet. Still trying to run away from Pumsik Lamajong. Still a game of catch running on for these two drivers as they fight for 7th position. And Pumsik Lamajong gonna have a look behind this time. And he's being held up now by Naeem Abdul. Starting to lose ground on Kian as he's being chased down to the wire by Pumsik Lamajong. Pumsik Lamajong not going to make anything happen just yet. He runs a little wide. Pumsik just bumps into Imchipanya due to the speed difference. It just seems like Pumsik Lamajong going to hold a little bit more steering handle. The second turn, still holding enough proximity from Pumsik Lamajong. Just sliding the car a little bit, coming out of time. Japan still leading a large train of carts. There's a 7 train of carts right behind him. If Nato Imchipanya makes a mistake, for sure Pumsik Lamajong is going to be right there to take care of it. Race starts to happen. Dying Abdul Ra is right there to take advantage as well. Partners in Michael, however, starts to lose pace on Mika Slabat coming into the midpoint. Mika Slabat just seems like his tire pressures are slowly starting to come in. Just a little while for Mika Slabat. It's going to cost him a few tenths for sure. Partners in Michael just hold this gap out for 6 more laps. It will be an easy breeze for Panu Sianmankong to win the race. He doesn't seem to be checking behind, but he knows Mika Slabat's going to be in there if he makes a mistake. Japan is starting to now build some breathing room from Pumsik Lamachong. Pumsik Lamachong being followed closely behind by the number 277 of Daing Abdul. The gap from Panu and Mika Slabat is 0.36. If Panu Sianmankong can just keep fair proximity to Mika Slabat, he will be able to uphold that proximity. Running in such similar paces between Pansak Serchai, which is all the way down in 12th position, to Kian Shah in 6th position. So from 6th to 12th, they're running identical lap times of 59.0s and 59.1s. So this fight is so hard to win. Such consistent and close lap times to each other. Only 4 laps remain now for the race as Nano of Japan starts to move even closer in. Nano of Japan having a little bit more pace, but just let him extend his lead on the top because Hamish Campbell starts to fall away. Because Slabat, of course, leading the Asia Trophy Junior Championship, is gonna extend his lead on Pumsik Lamachong. And for the Junior Championship for Thailand, Panu Sianmankong is also going to extend his lead on Tas Meung Siri, who's all the way in 18th position. But again, Mika Slabat slowly closing in once again, and it's a game of catch and chase and catch and chase. Most like compromise between the top two of Panu Sianmankong and Mika Slabat. And with these Mojo D2 tires, you have to manage the degradation very, very carefully, especially in the heats and summertime in Thailand. Cut 202 of Panu Sianmankong crosses the finish line with 2 laps left of the Grand Prix. And Panu Sianmankong still 0.379 of a second away from Mika Slabat, and that's just enough to possibly give him the race win. It's very repetitive, but he's doing such a great job to keep such high-level drivers behind him. He's been taking the experience he's gotten from Europe and applying it to the Asian karting scene. Not only leveling up himself, but leveling up the playing field in the rotax Mixed Challenge Junior category. gap has started going down one more time between Mika Slavat and Panusian Mangkok. Anything gonna happen? Not quite close enough for Mika Slavat. Panus takes a look behind again into turn number 3. He knows Mika Slavat's not close enough to make anything happen just yet. Just a few corners to go now for Panusian Mangkok, and Mika Slavat's not gonna let off anytime soon. He's gonna fight it down to the wire. But Panusian Mangkok is gonna go into the last 2 corners. He checks behind. Mika Slavat is so far behind. There's gonna be at least 7 to 8 car lengths between that gap. And Mika Slavat is not gonna be in time. Oh, and there's a crash between Parker Becker. And that's for 4th and 5th position. But Panusian Mangkok is gonna win the junior race. And in 2nd position, Mika Slavat. And I was just looking, and 4th position goes to Kian. And 5th position becomes Nado M. Japanya. And Jamie Ombros and Paul just falls in to 13th and 7th position respectively. And there was some drama in the very end into turn number 10 on the final lap. I believe that was Jamie trying to make a move on Paul Becker. We'll have to see what's wrong with that one there as we head into the highlights of Junior Max and Junior Rookie. Panusian Mangkok, where he was able to uphold that lead from Mika Slavat, Hamish Campbell, Kian Shah, Nado Imchipanya, Pumsik Lomachong, Paul Becker, and Daing Abdul Rahman. Now we will go down for the interview. final start, and we are here with the pole man, Scott John Howard. How has this weekend been for you?
Won't lie, it's been tricky. We've had some issues we've had to sort out, but let's just hope we get it right for the final and put on a good show and have some good racing.
And I have seen in the superheat you were messing with something in the engine. What were you doing?
We've just had some problems with the engine cutting out this weekend, which we've half fixed, but just it's not right, so just trying to play with things and see if we can get it fixed. But we'll bolt on a few things and see if it works, and won't die wondering.
Okay, so good luck for the race then, and I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you very much.
And then on the side we have Chen Ping Hao, and across all of the Stratos RL team, you're the only driver who's a privateer. How's this weekend been for you?
Very challenging.
Very calm.
Yeah.
And I've seen you've had a lot of pace, but let's just say not the best luck. How do you manage to win this race in the final now that it counts?
Just try my best.
Just try your best. Okay, good luck for the weekend, Chen Ping Hao. As we move on to Jeremy Yam. Now on the fresh set of tires. How has this weekend been for you?
I think the weekend has been a lot of learnings. I try to do my best with a fresh set of tyres.
And I've just been personally curious. What's this on your nose? Does it help like with breathing or?
Apparently it does. Apparently. Let's see if it does.
Okay, good luck for the weekend, Jeremy, and I'll be rooting for you. Now I will head back into the commentary box, and thank you for all the drivers for such the great advice and insight on this weekend. Back at the commentary box with 1 minute left for the MAX DD2 final. Let's see if Chen Ping Hao can utilize his race pace when if Scott John Howard can fix his technical difficulties. And we know Jeremy Yam right behind is looking to make something happen here in the final. But then again, all 5 drivers all have their specialties on this track, I would say. So we'll see what goes down for the final of the DD2 Max Masters. So here we go. And Scott John Howard was not the fastest in qualifying, but he was able to utilize in the heats to find himself on the pole shot of the grid. So let's see what he can do in this race. Following Chen Ping Hao, Jeremy Yam, Ang Yi Tang, and Roger Young. This will be the longest race of the weekend. 20 whole laps of Mira circuits. 20 laps. So here we go. For the very close starts Scott John Howard on the front row, paired with Chen Ping Hao. Right next to him, Jeremy Yam, followed by Yi Tang. Then it will be Roger Young closing out your 5-car grid. Also has had some technical difficulties in the superheat as well. Despite him having some difficulties, let's see what he can do in this final race of the weekend. Can we also get cut number 265? Come see the stewards, please. Cut number 265. Xavier Fabrizio Santoso to see the stewards, please. Thank you very much. On the left. Yi-Tang and Roger Young. Here we go. Jumping out. Beautiful start from him from the outside line to take the shots. And Scott John Howard has a slot right behind it. He's right there, bumper to bumper. Jumping out. Gonna go defensive into the first corner. And Roger Young sets it down the inside of Jeremy Yam. There in third position. But Chen Ping Hao, beautifully done on the start. We're just waiting for the visuals to clear if it was a clean start or not for Chen Ping Hao and Scott John Howard on the front row. But so far, Scott John Howard has already checked out of the race, and Scott John Howard just so close, so deep in the brakes from Chen Ping Hao. Chen Ping Hao still right there in the lead of the race, however, and Scott John Howard right behind, followed by Yi Tang, Jeremy Yam, and Roger Young, who moves into fourth position, followed by Jeremy Yam. And Roger Young looking to advance into third position, down the inside. He's going to think better of it, however. Roger Young having to slot back again into fourth position. Yi Tang still in third position. But Chen Ping Hao still in the lead of the race. And Scott John Howard right behind. As the officials are waiting to clear if it was a clean start or not between Chen Ping Hao and Scott John Howard, because Chen Ping Hao had such a wonderful run. The officials may think it was a little bit too wonderful, but they'll have to check one more time. As again, Jeremy Yam goes down the inside of Roger Young. Goes defensive into turn number 3. Roger Young gonna have to slot back behind. Still right in front of Roger Young, and right in front Chen Ping Hao, leading by close to half a second to Scott John Howard. Just checking to see if the start was clean or not. 10% of the race done already. And Chen Ping Hao still in the lead of the race, 0.7. Scott John Howard still in second place. Oh, and he goes down into the grass. Little mistake from Scott John Howard here as Yi Tang. Yi Tang gonna have to still in position for now as Roger still being left behind by Jeremy Yam. But Chen Ping Hao still in the lead of the race from Scott John Howard and Yi Tang. And Yam gonna have to put in some work to catch up to the top 3. Ungitang still very close to Scott John Howard, and the best Ungitang has done so far this weekend. As he's rocking the new Tony Kart chassis. Second faster than Scott John Howard. Here's the leader of the race from Taiwan, Chen Minghao, followed by Scott John Howard, the Australian. This is the Malaysian of Ungitang, followed by another fellow countryman, Jeremy Yam, and then Roger Young. Checks to see if his bumper is in or not. Seems to be quite alright. Winding down those laps, and he just needs to keep within the proximity that he is now to make sure Ungitang doesn't snatch second place away. Still Scott John Howard, very deep into turn number 10 on the brakes, swings it into the right, down on the accelerator, out of the final quarter. Still in the defense from Itang Ung. Itang Ung just goes very deep, very tight into turn number 3. Scott John Howard running a different line as Roger Young slowly closes in on Scott John Howard, and all are running in the 57.1s from first to 5th position, all running identical lap times. This is a respectable amount of cuts on the grid, not too small, not too big, but does serve some very close racing. Ungitang still on the rear bumper of Scott John Howard. Scott John Howard knows he's there, he doesn't need to check, he can hear from the engine. Scott is going a little bit wide coming to turn number 1, getting the better run off of 2, however. And Ungitang have to go defensive into turn number 3 from Jeremy Yam. Close to the halfway mark. Jeremy Yam still on the chase from Itang Ung. Roger Young right behind Jeremy Yam. Scott John Howard doing a great job to keep some proximity from the rest of the drivers as Chen Minghao goes 57.0. The man who currently holds the fastest lap is actually in 4th position, Jeremy Yam. As he heads into the first sector one more time. Itang not close enough to make anything happen. Itang's or Kenny's gonna have to try anything he can to get Scott still running a comfortable lead, not having to defend whatsoever. And Jeremy Yam still on the chase with Roger Young behind. Starting to understeer a little bit out of turn number 10, and he's just overworking his eyes just a little bit too much. And down on the lap times, Chen Minghao still running in the 57.0s. The rest of the grid is running in the tenths ahead of Itag, and that gap has slowly started to increase. Scott John Howard just so deep into the brakes coming to turn number 10. Itag not being able to go faster as Scott John Howard is now 2 tenths faster than 4th and 5th position. 3 tenths faster than 4th and 5th position, and 2 tenths faster than Itag in 3rd. That should be having to go a little bit defensive now on Scott John Howard hasn't been going any faster, but the guys behind him have started going slower. Jumping out still running consecutive 57.0s. John Howard still 5 tenths, and that's just enough to keep him ahead with the halfway mark passed and 20 laps of racing with 9 more to go in the DD2 class. Still ahead of Scott John Howard. And jumping out, having a very, very comfortable lead, but now Scott John Howard is starting to feel the wrath of Itag. 8 laps to go. And Itag still right there. Scott John Howard jumps the left curve. Gonna get a little bit wider on the entry. Carrying more speed into turn number 3 than Itag. Sliding neutral steer into turn number 4. Gonna go down a gear for the S's. He's going to slot into second gear as he approaches 100 on the fast swooping right. Going to go back down into first gear for 10th corner. And then up a gear one more time as he heads into the final corner. And still Scott John Howard ahead of Itag again as the laps wind down. 7 laps to go now. And Itag still not giving up just quite yet. And every time Scott John Howard runs a little bit wider into turn number 3, getting that better run off the exit. And Scott John Howard starting to pull a bit of a gap now again from Itag. He is now 2 tenths ahead of Itag. And it just seems like in the 3rd sector, Itag is just that little bit quicker than Scott John Howard. But as we approach the 1st sector, Scott John Howard still getting that advantage out of the 2nd corner. He runs just a little bit wider on turn number 3. He gets the better run on the exit, and that's just enough to keep Itag behind. And Scott John Howard just missing the apex line quite a little bit. Scott John Howard still doing better in sector 1, whereas in sector 2, Itag slowly closing in now. Scott John Howard still not checking behind. He knows where Itag is. He knows what he has to do to just keep this proximity. as we cross the finish line. Scott John Howard is only 1/10 ahead of Ung Etang now, but so is Jeremy Yam closing in on Ung Etang. Ung Etang not able to capitalize on the speed coming into the first sector. But he will slowly close in once again into the second and third sector of the track. Etang just a little bit faster coming into sector number 2. And as we head into the third sector, Ung Etang's still there, and he's able to catch up into the sweeping right-hander. Scott extremely late on the brakes, coming to turn number 10 and sliding the car just a little bit on the exit. Ung Etang more defensive. Ung Etang goes deeper into the brakes. Scott John Howard still just 1/10 faster, 1/10 ahead. Now 2/10 and down the inside, and there's a little bit of contact. Roger Young gives Jeremy Young a little bit of a sorry. But he has dove down the inside of Jeremy Yam. And hopefully Ung Etang can take some inspiration from that move. I wanted to see some action happen, and oh, that's something happened into turn number 10. We're coming to the last corner. Ung Etang still behind Scott John Howard with 3 laps to go. Scott John Howard does not take a look behind. He is very far away from Ung Etang at this point. And the gap will slowly start decreasing once again. You guys trends. But with 3 laps left, Chan Ping Hao leading the race from Scott John Howard, Ung Etang, Roger Young, and Jeremy Yam. Scott John Howard still leading Ung Etang one more time. And Chan Ping Hao is treating this as a practice session at this point. Scott John Howard has a 4/10 gap from Ung Etang, and the more Ung Etang follows Roger Scott John Howard, the faster his tires are going to degrade under the hot air. It's quite another to overtake in the DD2 class. Here's our leader heading into the final lap now with 2 corners remaining. A comfortable lead over the Stratus RL team. Ching Ping Hao has driven incredibly in terms of race pace. And right behind is Scott John Howard, Ung Etang, Roger Young, and Jeremy Yam. Great job from him to find so much pace to lead by close to 6 seconds. Coming into the final lap. And Scott John Howard still being pressured on by Ung Etang. Ung Etang's not going to make anything too fast. And Chan Ping Hao is going to win the DD2 Max Masters, followed by Scott John Howard in second, Chen, and then Ung Etang in third. Roger Young. And fifth is Jeremy Yam. Even if Jeremy Howe had a dump start, he would still be cleared with the 6.6 lead over Scott John Howard. But here we go. Now we go into the highlights and keep an eye on the start for the DD2 Master Final. Results and highlights for MAX DD2 Final, and your winner, Shen Ping Hao, followed by Scott John Howard, Ng Yi Tang, Roger Young, and Jeremy Yam closing your 5-cut grid. Next up, we will have the biggest grid of the weekend, the Senior MAX go up for their final. So we are back on the starting grid for the final of the junior category. We are here with the pole sitter Mayu, and we will be asking some insight. How has this weekend been?
Good weekend. I just did on Fridays. Yeah. So got good competition. That's good.
And then how are you feeling coming into the final this weekend?
I feel a little bit excited. So get a little bit.
Okay, so best of luck for Mayu, and I'll be rooting for you. As we move into the man on the left side of the front row, Toby Gale. How has this weekend been for you?
It's been good, but you know, we're struggling on pace a tiny bit, but happy with how it's going. Just hopefully we can finalize in the final.
I see. Well, now that you're on the new set of times, what's your game plan?
Well, I think just managing it is one of the most important aspects, as you know, it's a long race. It's not over straight away, so as long as we can do it, then I'm sure it will go well.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Manage the degradation of these tires, definitely with the 20 laps you have, eh? So best of luck for you, Toby, as we move on into the third position as we wait for the photos. Hello. Hello, Siri. Kong Siri. How has this week been? How's this weekend been for you?
It's been okay. Not good, not bad.
Not good, not bad. Are you struggling with pace, or what is there to improve from?
I think probably race pace. That's what I'm working on.
Okay, so best of luck for you then for this weekend, and get the guys ahead, eh? Hopefully. Okay, best of luck. As then now we'll be heading into the commentary box before the start of the final. Thank you very much. Here in 8th position is Warapong in the car number 344. And right next to him is 388 Luke Armstrong in 9th position with Simon Racing. Then in 10th position is car number 342 Clifford Ganjanapas. Followed by car number 373 of Travis Till. And then car number 324 of Jenny Bibinet in 12th position. And then this is car number 13, Daniel Harris, Jaggy, with mechanic Lunchai. then the number 399, Lakash Manish. Hello, Blue. Here is the number 345 of Zachary Chaichon Boys from grid number 15. And then here's the number 944 of Weersak Imwichan Mini Huts from the Max Master. Here's the number 953 of Tanapa Varakit Superchok. Just getting some support there from his team members. And right next to him is cart number 367, Chris Shea. That was in 18th position. And in 19th is cart number 343 of Amigat Zulkarnain. And then cart number 312, Abu Ash Siyame from Malaysia. Followed by the triple digit number 333, Tanmay Kothari. And then card number 353, Harith Zaril O from Malaysia. So there we go, the biggest grid of the weekend. 22 cards, 11 rows, and 1 minute separates us from the race. And just a quick rundown. Toby Panigora Ramrasimi, of course, the so far fastest race pace we've seen of the weekend. But on Saturday, Toby Gale was able to get in front and back him up into the pack. Siri Kong Siri, like he said, was struggling with a little bit of race pace, but we can't always count him out, along with a few other drivers as well, like Austin Gale, who made his way into second place on Saturday. So a little bit more before the race starts, 15 seconds to go. And engines roaring to life as the green flag comes out for the warm-up lap on these fresh and new tires in the final. So here we go for the start of the CA Max and Max Masters final. On your front row, Panjigora Ramrasmi, followed by Toby Gale. Second row, Siri Komsri, followed by Rajarat. On your third row, Naik Ibrahim, followed by Krish Gupta. Fourth row, Austin Gale, followed by Warren Ebuchan. Fifth row, Luke Armstrong, followed by Clifford Ganchanapas. Sixth row, Travis Hill, followed by Jenny Bibinet. On the seventh row, we'll see Daniel Harris pairing up next with Lakash, and then Zachary Boyce, followed by Virasak Ebuchan. On the ninth row, Tanapo Marakit Superchok, followed by Krish Haygut. On the 10th row, Migat Zulkarnain, followed by Abu Ash Siami. On row 11, Tanmay Kothari, followed by Harish 0000. That's your 22 card lineup for the final race of the weekend. This one's the most important one, it's the final. Will be controlling the pace of the field. So here we go, Rossi pairing up with Toby Gale on the left side. And none of the drivers getting into 2x2 formation quite yet. No point of getting your tires extra dirty. So here we go. as we are right about to get started for the Senior Max and Max Master final. And a lot could be determined from the first lap and the first corner. Here we go. 11 cars rows of cars roll to the track lines and we're racing. Toby Gale just gets a better start on the outside row, but Pangona Ramrasamy just getting the whole shot on the inside line. A little bit of contact as Russia Anatakan falls down the order. Pangona Ramrasamy still in front, followed by Toby Gale, Siri Kongsiri right in third position. Fourth position is Dying Ibrahim, followed by Austin Gale, who makes his way into fifth position. Little bit of a squabble in the mid-pack, but the front top five are cleanly underway. Austin Gale tries to have a look down the inside into the 100R, and they're side by side coming to the front straight. Gonna have to back off. Oh, and there's a little bit of a contact between Ibrahim and Luke Joshua Armstrong. Gonna have to pick lanes here. He's gonna choose the inside. Gonna have to slot back, however. And Austin Gill still behind Ibrahim. Down the back straight away. Ibrahim already defending as Travis Toll passes Krish Gupta. And Luke Joshua Armstrong still on the defense. Also Ibrahim on the defense. And there's a really big squabble in the mid-pack, but up in front, Daniel Gord still not able to run away from Toby Gill just quite yet. As Dying Ibrahim still under defense from Austin Gill and Luke Joshua Armstrong. The man who was on fourth position on the grid start, Raja Anantakan, finds himself all the way in seventh. Dying Ibrahim in fourth position, followed by Austin Gale. And they so close to the tire barriers. And the seniors just run so close coming into the final corner's exit. But Ibrahim still not on the defense quite yet. Austin Gale was choosing to go on that lap. As they're side by side coming to turn number 4. Luke Joshua Armstrong being patient with Austin Gill, not sending it up the inside quite yet. But Luke Armstrong still being pressured by one of the parallels behind him as well, as Austin Gill is still trying on Ibrahim. Right in front, Panyagona Ramrasamy in first position from Toby Gill and Siri Kongsiri. Dying Ibrahim in fourth position. Runs so close, everyone is so close, maximizing that exit of the last corner. Ibrahim is still being pressured on by Austin Gill. Austin Gill's gonna fake to the outside and he's gonna move almost to the inside, not quite yet. Ibrahim and Austin Gill are banging bumpers in the final as so close between these two, and just enough space is given into turn number 4. And only 3 laps have gone by, ladies and gentlemen, and Austin Gill still right behind there from Dying Ibrahim. And a quick rundown of your top 5. Panyagona Ramrasamy following with Toby Gale in second, Siri Kongsiri in third, Dying Ibrahim in fourth, Austin Gale in fifth position. And if things continue like this, Panyagona Ramrasamy will score more points than Sid Gale, putting him into second place, I reckon, in the Thailand Championship. Dying Ibrahim still on the defense with Toby Gale. Toby Gale from Austin Gale, sorry. Austin Gale needs to overtake to have enough points to lead Panyagona Ramrasamy coming into the third round of the Thailand Championship. And someone goes off. I think that is one of the 933 cards of Tanapo. And Austin Gale again on the inside, and he gets it done on Ibrahim. Down the back straightaway, has to go defensive on Ibrahim. Luke Joshua Armstrong chooses to go down the inside line. Doesn't get anything done quite quite yet, and now Austin Gill is free from the train of carts. And next it is Luke Josh's Armstrong's turn to try and get past Ibrahim. And this is what happened on the replay with the cart number 933 just getting tangled with the number 333. And it's just a little bit of movement within the back of the pack between Tanmay Gandhari and Tanapo. But here is now the live stream, and Austin Gale is just overtaking Ibrahim coming out of the 100R, and he goes defensive. Here we go, back into the live footage. And our top 5 is Funny Gone Around Rasami leading Toby Gale by close to a second now. It's 0.4, 0.7. Toby Gale being followed closely behind by Siri Kongsiri. Austin Gale in 4th position, Naik Ibrahim in 5th. Luke Joshua Armstrong still in 6th position, being followed closely behind by Rachra Anantakan as he goes for the move down the inside. He's not going to make that work. And now Travis Joe is right behind, and he tries to move Rachra out of the way, and he is blocking Travis's path. Travis utilizing his bumper as Toby Gale is slowly being, I believe, reeled in by Siri Kongsiri. I believe Toby Gale was going on the defense, and Panyagoda Ramrasibi is gone. 56.7, 56.6. He's 3/10 faster than Toby Gale and Siri Kongsiri. And Austin Gale is going 1/10 faster than the 2nd and 3rd place. So some interesting stuff happening. As Toby Gale is still under pressure from Siri Kongsiri. Heading into the fast swooping right-hander of turn number 9. Heartbreaking zone into turn number 10. Still not much action happening as Austin Gale gets past Ibrahim a few laps ago. But now Luke Joshua Armstrong being closed in by the number 395 once again. Number 395 just trying to close in on Luke Joshua Armstrong. Is he going to go for the pass? Not quite yet for Roger Anantagan. Still ahead of the and the car number 388 of Luke Joshua. Still ahead, but he is being very closely followed behind by the car number 395. Right behind, this is some mid-pack action right here. See the car number 345, the Zachary boys, who is fighting Krish Gupta all the way in 13th position. And nothing happening yet into turn number 3 between Luke Joshua Armstrong and Anantagan. Slides heading into turn number 4. Number 388 of Luke Joshua Armstrong again starting to close in on Ibrahim one more time. Luke will be fighting to get that 5th position. Austin Gill is starting to work his way into Siri Kongsiri little by little, but with only 10 laps left, he'll be very close to see what he can do. still need to be a little bit closer to Ibrahim to make something happen. Still trying to edging gap from Luke Joshua Armstrong, follows closely behind. A quick rundown of your top 10 one more time. Pentagon around recipe leads by almost 2 seconds, following Toby Gale, and then third place Siri Koksiri, fourth place Austin Gale. Fifth place is still Naeem Ibrahim, and this is the close fight for sixth place between Luke Joshua Armstrong and Rajarat. And then in eighth position is Travis Joe, followed by Warapong, Impichan, and Clifford Ganchanapas. Joshua Armstrong starting to lose ground again on Rajarat, and he starts to have to go defensive from the cut 395. Gonna go defensive, and he's doing anything he can to try to move ahead of Rajarat and Antakhan. Still, it's a game of leading and chasing at the moment. But Toby Gill is still in close proximity to Siri Koksiri, both in the barrel cart. Siri Koksiri gonna try something at this point. Big has a look behind. Siri Koksiri still right there. Not much Siri Koksiri can do at this point. Siri just have around 500 of a second faster than Toby Gale. After this lap, 7 laps will be remained. 7 laps of action left. Siri Koksiri still not close enough to make anything happen, and Ibrahim just seems to be coming closer and further to Luke Joshua Armstrong. So is the car in number 395. Not being able to do anything to chase down Joshua Armstrong. And will he go for the move? Not quite yet into this lap as well. Starting to wonder if he's going to go for it at all. He is in close proximity, but so is Siri Koksiri. Siri gonna go for the move on Toby Gale, coming to turn number 10, is closer than ever. Toby Gale gonna go defensive. Siri Koksiri, oh, very close to each other. Siri Koksiri, bumper to bumper. He takes a look down the inside into the last corner. Gonna have to slot back out of that one more time. And Austin Gale starting to come closer. And Siri Koksiri has to slot behind one more time. Toby Gale's gonna check the distance. He's gonna go defensive either way as Austin Gale starts to become closer to these two. We are starting to see some action once again as Siri Koksiri dives down the inside, and there's a little bit of contact. Siri Koksiri gets it done on Toby Gale. Siri Koksiri just slides it up the inside into turn number 4, and beautiful execution to park it on the apex. Toby Gale gonna have to go on the chase one more time. Siri Koksiri check the gap. Toby Gale is a few car lengths to back for a dive bomb at this moment. Siri Koksiri still ahead of Toby Gale once again. 5 laps remain, and Toby Gale just seems to be a little bit struggling with race pace in the last few laps. Whereas earlier he was able to keep that proximity. Then again, it's a battle of consistency for these drivers, and Siri Koksiri being able to be just 0.05 of a second faster on each lap gave him the opportunity. Toby increase his pace to catch up with Siri Kong Siri. All he needs to wish on a mistake from Siri Kong Siri, and this very moment Siri Kong Siri again maximizes that last corner, runs very wide all the way to the time barrier. Right to the corner. And Siri Kong Siri has a check behind one more time. Toby Gill a bit further this time. Both running identical barrel carts. Already 4.2 seconds ahead of Siri Kong Siri. Siri starting to pull a gap from Toby Gill. 3/10 is the gap from second to third place. Austin Gill will not have enough laps to catch up. If things stay like this, Toby Gill's not going to get another try. He's not going to get another crack on Siri Kong Siri as he's slowly, the yellow bumper with the number 383 attached, slowly disappearing into the sunset. 3 laps to go now for the Senior Max and Max Masters final. It's still Banyakon around Recipe. 1/10 faster than the rest of the field. Austin Gill running similar times to Banyakon around Recipe, but it's not enough to catch up to his brother Toby Gill or Siri Kong Siri. Not enough time for Austin Gill to try to catch up to the podium positions. Toby Gill's gonna have to settle for third position. Siri Kong Siri checks one more time. Toby Gill's further than ever. That was some beautiful execution by Siri Kong Siri. It shows the right amount of time. Right when he started creeping in, went for the move into turn 4, parked it on the apex, and he got it done with 2 laps to go now. But again, we can't stop thinking about Banyakon around Recipe as he was strikingly fast. 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. He is going to comfortably take the win home today with 2 laps to go. You can just slightly see his rear tire. And now he heads into the sweeping right hand of turn number 9 for Banyakon around Recipe. Banyakon around Recipe just so fast, so consistent. He had a brilliant start to this one as well. So Banyakon around Recipe, just 1 more lap to go, and this is the final lap. And he's gonna take that victory lane and run away from the rest of the field. And Siri Kong Siri is now pulling a gap on Austin Gill. And you have to give it up to Banyakon around Recipe. He drove beautifully this weekend. Regardless to some... as Austin Gill comfortably passes Toby Gill. Toby Gill allows Austin Gill to pass him. Some teamwork between the 2 drivers. The 2 brothers as Gill now leads Toby Gill for 3rd position. But here we go. Banyakon around Recipe gonna win 1st position in Senior Max and Max Master for Banyakon around Recipe. Followed very far behind is Siri Kong Siri, who comfortably takes 2nd place from Austin Gill after team orders. And Luke able to bring home 6th position from Rajarat. So your top 5 is Banyakon around Recipe, followed by Siri Kong Siri, 3rd place Austin Gill, 4th place Toby Gill, 5th place Dying Ibrahim. So some interesting racing strategies from the Gill front around Recipe with a 4.3 gap as we go into the highlights of the final event of the weekend. Senior Max and Max Master. And again, a comfortable win for Panyagonaram Rasami with such great race pace. And Siri Kong Siri beautifully done to take second place. And Austin Gale third, Toby Gale fourth. And to close out your top five is Dying Ibrahim. Thank you so much for joining us today for Rotax Max Challenge Asia Round 3 and Thailand Round number 2. I am your commentator, Vongsapat Ketsuri, and thank you very much for joining us today as we will have a short break before the awards ceremony. Thank you very much. place goes to Kwong Mason Alexander. Then in second place, Nutsarang Rangratstanako. And then the winner of the rotax Max Challenge Asia Micro goes to Chinapat Vejabuti. Can you please get Mr. Ponte to present the trophy to the drivers? Please clap for all our drivers, please. And then next up is the Mini-Max category, and in third place, the number 165 Patapol Gaugan Janase. Then in second place, the number 19 Pirapongpad Satamno. And the winner of Rotax Max Challenge Asia goes to the number 177 Tarurat Vechavuti. Please say Mr. Tanatsa to represent the trophy to the drivers. Another round of applause for the drivers, please. Then, for the Rotax Max Challenge Junior Max, in third position, card number 201, Amish Campbell. And then in second position, the card number 215, Slavat Mika Francois. And then the winner of the Junior Max is card number 202, Panu Senmankong. Please get Mr. Alessandro to present the trophy to the drivers. And then another round of applause for the drivers, please. Okay, next up we will have the Senior Max 4-round Rotax Max Challenge Asia Trophy. In third position, car number 331, Austin Gill. And then in second position, car number 383, Siri Kong Siri. And then the winner of Senior Max, car number 318, Panyakon Aram Rasami. Please, Mr. Poonpan. A round of applause for the drivers, please. Okay, next up we have the Max Master, and only one finish in this category, and that goes to the car number 944, Wirasak Imwichan. Can we get Mr. Ponte, please? Thank you very much. Another round of applause for the dad, please. And then next up we have the Max DD2 Masters. In third position, car number 532, E Tag. Then in second position, car number 539, Scott John Howard. Then the winner of Max DD2 Masters goes to car number 567, Ping Hao Chen. Can we please get Mr. Tanasak? Round of applause for the drivers, please. Okay, next up for the rotax Mix Challenge Thailand, we start with the Micromax category. In 5th position, card number 39, Jun Karato. Then in 4th position, card number 35, Callan Delcy. In 3rd position, card number 29, Kwong Mason Alexander. In 2nd position, car number 9, Nutsarang Rong Rustanako. And on the top step of the podium, cart number 78, Chinapat Vechabuti. Can we please get Mr. Ponte? Can we please get a representative for Mason for the 3rd step of the podium? Wow. Mason grow very tall now. Another round of applause for the drivers, please. Okay, next up for the micro rookies in 5th place, cart number 56, Saritapat. And in 4th position, cart number 98, Sirachach Ongbangnoy. Then in 3rd position, cart number 99, Advantage Yuva Sakunkrai. In 2nd position, cart number 35, Callan Delcy. Then the winner of micro rookie goes to cart number 9, Nutsarang Rong Rustanako. Can you please get Mr. Pontep one more time? Thank you very much. Another round of applause for the drivers, please. Okay, next up is the Minimax, and in 5th position, cart number 119, Chayakon Meena Ganet. And in 4th position, cart number 105, Papasaton Silabanlang. In 3rd position, cart number 165, Patapo Gao Ganjanaset. And in 2nd position, cart number 109, Pirapongpan Satamno. And the winner of Minimax for the Thailand Championship goes to cart number 177, Tanorat Vechabuti. Please get Mr. Taratsa. of applause for the drivers, please. And then for mini rookie, fourth position goes to cart number 114, Palat Tanjapong. Then in third position, cart number 119, Chayakon Mainakanet. Then in second position, Papasaton Silapanlang. And on the top step of the podium, cart number 177, Tarat Betchabuti. Can we please get Mr. Tanatsa again one more time? And another round of applause for the drivers, please. Okay. Then for Junior Max in fifth position, car number 233, Chisanapong. Then in fourth position, car number 269, Nawin Dase. Then in third position, car number 220, Paul Becker. Then in second position, car number 264, Poopsit Glamajong. And then the winner on the top step of the podium for Junior Max goes to car number 202, Panu Stan Mankong. Please get Mr. Alessandro to present the trophy to the drivers. And another round of applause for the drivers, please. Then, up next, for the junior rookie category, next for the junior rookie category in fifth position, car number 235, Nado Mjipanya. Then in fourth position, car number 234, Kanpong Shochana Ratanakan. Then in third position, car number 212, Michael Pirainen. Then in second position, car number 275, Pan Saksamchai. And the winner of junior rookie, the number 264, Pumsit Glomajong. Can we please again get Mr. Alessandro? Mr. Alessandro. Next is the senior max category, and in 5th position, Rajarat Anantakan. Then in 4th position, card number 323, Toby Gale. And then in 3rd position, a very bad and naughty boy, Austin Gale. And in 2nd position, Siri Kong Siri. And for the top step of the podium, it will be Panjakon Aram Rasami. Can we please get Mr. Poonpan? Okay, last but not least, the last but not least, for the MAX Masters, the only finisher in this category, card number 944, Wirasak Imwichan. Can you please again get Mr. Poonpan? That was it, the podium celebration for all the categories in Rotax Max Challenge Asia and Thailand. Next round will be in 22nd of September this year for round 3 of Thailand and round 4 of Asia. I am Bospa Ketri. Thank you so much for joining in on today's action, and we'll see you next time.